What's going on, everyone? Play on Daily Fantasy Sports back here today with another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Draftkings and Fanduel NBA slates for Wednesday, February 27th. So without further ado, let's get right into the slate. Starting things off on Fanduel with the guards I am targeting. The first guy that I'm going to be looking at tonight is going to be Kemba Walker at only 8,800. He's really trending down in his he's trending down in the general cap that he's had. Typically he's been around a 9.2, 9.3K player. I like the matchup against Houston tonight. Houston's given up some big performances. They're not exactly a stellar defense right now. And Kemba's a guy that, given some of these other plays I'm going to mention here, you should have the cap for, and is a guy I believe is worth spending up on. Looking then at some of the shooting guards, two shooting guards I really like tonight are going to be Justin Holiday and D'Angelo Russell. Holiday at only 3,700 comes as a great punt play against his former team his former team Chicago. He's got the playing against his former team narrative for him tonight, and I really like his price, and just the pure minutes he gets makes him a great value play tonight. Looking then over for the other guard position, and the guy that I really like is Wayne Ellington, again at only 4,100. He's a cheap play that's been getting 30 to 32 minutes, and against this Sacramento Spurs team, I really like him in this matchup. Just the minutes in Detroit have been there for him, and with these minutes, as long as he's able to produce, he's a solid play at only 4,100. Looking then over at some of the forwards that I'm targeting, and for small forwards, the one guy I like tonight that I'm going to be willing to spend up on is LeBron James. LeBron's really got to put the team on his back. I think he has a monster game tonight. There's some other cheap plays that make him definitely a viable option, but LeBron for 1,200 against the absolute awful Pelicans defense. I think this Lakers team comes out hot tonight, and I really like LeBron to just take over. Looking then at some of the power forwards I have been targeting and looking at, the first guy that really comes to mind is going to be Marvin Williams. His minutes have increased a lot recently, and at 5,400, that's a fair price to play, I think, in this Houston matchup. If this can stay a close game, he should be in the 30-minute range, and I really like Marvin tonight in this matchup. And finally, the last spot is going to be the centers, and there's a plethora of some good centers tonight. Kyle O'Quinn's been getting minutes. That's going to go down, but still at 3,900, he's a guy you could look at. Jarrett Allen, minutes have been very inconsistent, but facing a weak Washington defense, he's a guy you could look at. But the guy that I'm really like for tonight is actually going to be Kevon Looney. With Cousins out, he's going to be getting a lot more minutes than you typically see. He's probably going to be up to about 22, 24 minutes tonight. And at only 3,500, he's definitely a guy that I think can go in as a punt play. Maybe you punt him and Holiday, and one of them, in my opinion, is going to have a good enough score that if you feel confident on your other 7 guys, you should be set. Moving then things on over to DraftKings, starting things off with the guards I like over on that site. And the guys I mentioned on FanDuel, as normal, are some nice plays. Wayne Ellington's decent. Darren Collison, who's another guy I like on FanDuel, is decent. But the one guy that I really like over on DraftKings is Karis LeVert. Still only 5,800. He should be fully healed up. 30 minutes is what you can expect. He's really he's a better player than a 5,800 type player, but he's definitely a risky play. So maybe not in cash, but I do like him tonight as a nice tournament play over on DraftKings. The other guard that I'm going to mention is Elfrid Payton at 5,200. This guy can fill the stat sheet, and his minutes have been pretty nice recently with Jrue Holiday now on this minutes restriction for the rest of the season. Payton is a guy I like against this weak Lakers defense. He's definitely a guy you should target on for sure in some tournaments, but possibly as a strong cash play. Moving then things on over to the forwards, and the big forward I like over on DraftKings tonight is actually Derek Favors. The Clippers cannot defend bigs at all. And although, Favors is only going to get 25, 26, 27 minutes, um, at only 4,600, I see that as a bargain. He typically trends in about the mid 5K range, maybe low 5,000s. But at 4,600, I think that Favors is a really solid play tonight over on DraftKings. Definitely a guy you're going to want to take a look at. And if no big news comes out, can be a very strong power forward or center play. And then finally, the last forward that I'm actually interested in is going to be Joe Harris. For Brooklyn, he's getting 30 to 32 minutes a game. He's facing a weak Washington defense. His team fights every night. He's on one of those teams where no matter what, the Nets go all out. They're not tanking. They just are awful. And so you can expect a full effort from their team. And although him and guys like LeVert they're risky guys. I'll admit that. I do think they're guys you're going to want to look at tonight, especially in some tournaments, and also possibly in your cash lineups. And then lastly, looking then over at the center position, Favors can play center. Jarrett Allen, who I mentioned on Fanduel, is also a solid center play. But the guy I like is actually going to be Favors' teammate, Rudy Gobert, at 8,200. I think it's a really fair price to play here, given this matchup against the just weakened and not very good Clippers defense. The Clippers are a scrappy team. They should keep this a competitive game. I don't expect Utah to blow them out. But I do love Gobert tonight. I think he's a great center play and can definitely, if he gets his full set of minutes, should be able to hit or exceed the typical expectations. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. And make sure to like and subscribe if you wish to stay up to date on these daily fantasy sport videos. Good luck tonight on your slates. Wishing you the best. Peace.